In this video, we will discuss applications of Laplace transforms. If you are new to this channel, I would appreciate if you subscribe to the channel. We will now quickly go through an example of on applications of Laplace transforms in electrical engineering. And here we have a question which is June, July 2016 for electrical engineering, module 2, and we are told the circuit in the figure below is dead. It's very important. It's dead. Prior to the switch closure at t is equal to 0. Use Laplace transforms to find the expression for the current at time to find the expression of current I of t for t is greater than 0 or for time greater than 0. Now we are given here a series circuit. We have a 10 volt source of EMF. We have a switch which will be closed at t is equal to 0. Here we have a resistor. This is a resistor. Here you have an inductor. And here you have a capacitor. The resistor is 1 ohm. The inductor is 1 Henry. And the capacitor is 1 Farad. And we are required to determine the equation of current flowing through the circuit, the current I of t at time t greater than 0. The first thing we need to do is to find the expression for voltage around the loop. But before we do that, we need to know that voltage across the resistor, voltage across a resistor is expressed as the current flowing through, which is a function of time, times the resistance of the circuit. Voltage across an inductor, voltage across an inductor, this one can be expressed as the inductance L times di, rate of change of current through the inductor, di dt. Of course, this current di, of course, this is a function of time. Voltage across a capacitor is equal to charge. Voltage is equal to charge over capacitance. Charge over capacitance. But charge Q is equal to current I times time. Current I times time. Q is equal to I times time. But we actually do not know what will be the time. So we can say current, the charge Q, will be integral from 0 is equal to t, I of t, with respect to t. Time will not be constant. Time t will not be constant because the charge will increase slowly. Charge will increase slowly from 0 to a certain value as time increases. So because time will be changing, that's why we are integrating. We are not going to use this formula for multiplication, but we are going to use the formula for integration. The KVL equation for voltage in the loop in time domain. So let us write from Kirchhoff voltage law. We know that the source of EMF, the algebraic sum of the EMFs and the drops in the circuit is equal. That is, the voltage across the resistor plus the voltage across the inductor plus the voltage across the capacitor are equal to the source of EMF. So you can sum up the voltages, which will be voltage across the resistor, voltage across the resistor, which is R, I of t, plus voltage across the inductor, which is L, di, dt, plus, here you have 1 over C, is capacitance C. I open a bracket here, Q naught plus integral from 0 to t, I of t with respect to t. Integral from 0 to t, I of t with respect to t. Actually, the reason why I have included this Q naught, if in case there is an initial charge in the capacitance. In case there is an initial charge in the capacitance. If you are told that there is initial charge in the capacitor, you need this Q naught. But in our case, we don't need Q naught because we are told the circuit is dead before the switch is closed. But for general purpose, I would rather give you the formula that is supposed to be in case in a different question you are told there will be some charge in the capacitor before the switch is closed. Now substituting, maybe you should say R is equal to 1 here. R is equal to 1 ohm. R is equal to 1 Henry. C is equal to 1 farad. And Q naught is equal to 0 because we are told since, or maybe you can put it like that, and Q naught is equal to 0. Maybe you can say the reason why. No initial charge in the capacitor. There is no initial charge in the capacitor. So you substitute the values, substituting the values in the equation for voltage. R is 1, so you only have, I think, I of t plus R is 1, so it's simply di dt plus C is 1, 1 over 1 is 1, Q naught is 0, plus integral from 0 to t, I of t with respect to t. Here, I've only written the Kirchhoff voltage law for the drops only. I've not equated with source of EMF. They should be equal to the source of EMF. So here I must say is equal to 10 volts. Again here I must say is equal to 10 volts. Although in actual sense we don't need to keep on saying it's voltage. We know it's voltage. Now let us rewrite the equation in S domain. Rewriting the equation, in S domain. In other words, we get the Laplace transforms. Laplace transform of I of t plus di dt plus integral from 0 to t I of t plus integral from 0 to t, I of t with respect to t is equal to 10. Let us get that Laplace transform. You see, if you get Laplace transform of a function of t, this will be function of s or fs. Similarly, Laplace transform of I of t will be equal to I of s, another function of s. So here, Laplace transform of the derivative of dx dt, as we said earlier. There is a video, if you have not watched my video on solution of differential equations using Laplace transform method, watch them on the link shown here, and you will see how we came with this equation. This is equal to s fs minus first derivative minus f of 0. That's what we saw earlier. Therefore, L di dt, this will be equal to s is minus the initial current in the circuit. Therefore, S domain equation is I of s. If you find the Laplace transform of I of t, it will change to I of s plus the Laplace transform of derivative of y with respect to t, di dt, will be s fs, not fs. The function we are using is current, is minus I naught, or the initial current when time is equal to 0. Oh, I haven't said Laplace transform of function of t over Laplace transform of integral of a function of t, that is from 0 to t, will be equal to fs over s. And therefore also Laplace transform of integral from 0 to t, the current with respect to time, but then here I did not say the value of integration is time. With respect to t is equal to fs over s. Similarly, Laplace transform of integral of I of t with respect to t, again this one will be is over s. So here, integral from 0 to t of I of t with respect to t, its Laplace transform is I of s over s. What is Laplace transform of 10? This is 10 over s. I think we no longer need this one. I should remove it now that we know why each term is the way it is. Let us just remove this. This was just a small revision that we can just forget about. Now here, I want to rearrange I of 0 is equal to 0. Why? Initial current in the circuit is 0. Initial current in the circuit is 0. Because he has told the circuit is dead by the time the switch is crossed. How we write the equation without that expression, that term? You have IF plus SIS plus IS over S is equal to 10 over S. Let us factor out IS. Here you factor out IS, we get 1. Here you factor out IS, we get S. Here you factor out IS, we get 1 over S is equal to 10 over S. Let us divide both sides with this expression. IS is equal to 10 over S. We are dividing both sides with this. 1 plus S plus 1 over S. We now open the bracket to be IS is equal to 10 over S times 1 S, S times S, S squared, S times 1 over S plus 1. Let us rearrange. IS is equal to 10 over S squared plus S plus 1. The equation for current I of t is, you see we said Laplace transform of I of t is equal to I of S. That's what we said earlier. It is obvious that now I of t must be equal to inverse Laplace transform of IS. Just the reciprocal. To get IS, we have to find the Laplace transform of I of t. Now to get I of t, we have to get the inverse Laplace transform of I of S. So we now go ahead and do that. I of t is equal to inverse Laplace transform of I of S, where I of S is equal to this. 10 over S squared plus S plus 1. The first thing is you see you want to solve this, and the first thing you need to do is check whether it is possible to factor out, so that you can decide whether you are going to use partial fractions or any other method. Any question that you encounter, the first thing you should do is check whether it is possible to factor out the denominator. Here the product is 1 times 1, which is 1, sum is 1. Here the coefficient of S is 1. Are there any two numbers we can multiply to get 1? Maybe 1 and 1. But those two numbers, if we added them, would they give us 1? We add 1 plus 1, it will be 2. So we cannot take 1 and 1. I don't think there are any two numbers that you can multiply. They give you 1, and you add them, they give you 1. This one is not possible to factorize. The denominator is irreducible. Denominator is irreducible quadratic factor. Quadratic factor. But there is only one factor. So again, because there is only one factor, when you only have one factor, you do not apply partial fractions. You apply partial fractions when you have more than one factor. But if you have only one factor in the denominator, you go ahead and directly find the inverse Laplace transforms. So here, we can make the denominator look a little bit nicer. You can say S squared plus s plus 1 is equal to, remember what we said earlier in my first example in the past papers. We said here you take the half coefficient of s. Coefficient of s is 1. Here we have 1s. So coefficient of s is 1. Take half of that divided by 2. You get 0.5. So it will be s plus 0.5 square that. What will it give us? If I take s plus 0.5, this one, if I square it, it will be s squared plus s 0.5 squared plus 0.25. But actually, I have a 1 here. Here I have 1, or we have 1, not 0.25. So it seems right, we need to add a 0.5. Not 0.5, 0.75. Actually now this is the same as this. Okay, now say I of t is equal to inverse Laplace transform of 10 over s plus 0.5 squared plus 0.75. To me this appears to be something like sine. We can rearrange it further to make it even look better. Inverse Laplace transform of 10 s plus 0.5 squared plus, what is root of 0.75? 0.866 squared. If you square 0.866, you get 0.75. You can, but remember for sine, we have a here and we have a squared here. So it still does not appear like it is sine. But if you take a closer look, actually it will be a sine. Inverse Laplace transform of, you see, let us find a factor x, so that x, when you multiply it with 0.866, it will give you 10. 10 you have here. Obviously that factor x is equal to 10 over 0.866. So you have 10 divided by our answer is 11. X will be equal to 11.547. X is equal to 11.547. So now I will say this is 11.547 times 0.866 s plus 0.5 squared plus 0.866 squared. We are now ready to use 11.547 times 0.866 will give you 10, which is what you have. There is nothing you have changed. Because of s plus 0.5 squared, it seems there is application of first shift theorem. If you have not watched my video on the first shift theorem, watch it on the link shown here. Finally, we are going to say this is the 1.547 inverse Laplace transform of, because we always take the constant outside there, the inverse Laplace transform table 0.866 over s plus 0.5 squared plus 0.866 squared. We have A. This takes the form, this one, A over S plus A squared plus A squared. So obviously here we have application of the shift theorem, and the entire function is the Laplace transform of the sine function. Therefore, finally, we are going to say the equation for current I of t is this A is 0.5. So we have exponential negative 0.5 t was we are adding. Whenever here is negative, here we add. And then finally sine 0.866 t. Sine 0.866 t. And that actually is our answer. So Laplace transform is not a difficult topic. You only have to try hard. Remember, it's hard to fail if you try hard. Continue watching more videos so that you can sharpen your skills on Laplace transforms.